Safety on the Lake Superior Water Trail. Lake Superior is powerful. This lake is cold and the weather and water conditions can change quickly. So paddler safety begins with paddler preparedness before you even get on the water trail. The Lake Superior Watershed Conservancy worked with Trans-Canada Trail to establish this great trail on Lake Superior. And part of that is the signage along the coast. The safety signage is critical to people's safety on the water trail. Part of the safety sign highlights what the Coast Guard in Canada and the United States requires that you have on board as a canoeist or a kayaker. You must always have your PFD, and we say you should always be wearing it. You need a sound signaling device, so a whistle or something that you can be heard with. Between sunset and sunrise, you must have some kind of waterproof flashlight. You need 50 feet or 15 meters of buoyant line, and you need to have some kind of bailing device, which can be a pump or a scoop on board your canoe or kayak. Apart from the required Coast Guard safety equipment that you must have on board, it is strongly recommended that you are prepared for the unexpected by wearing a wetsuit that will keep you warm if you are immersed in water. It could save your life in the case of a capsize into Lake Superior's cold waters. Know your equipment and practice using it before going paddling on Lake Superior. Prepared paddlers have the skills for self-rescue. We're going to show you some of those. Use sea kayaks and covered canoes. Wreck kayaks are not really safe on Lake Superior. Use spray decks or covers for open canoes and spray skirts for kayaks. Use proper ankle or waist belt leashes for paddle boards. Obtain a local marine weather forecast before heading out. Carry and know how to use navigation tools, the map, compass, and GPS, and have a signaling mirror. Provide your detailed itinerary to family or friends before heading out. Safety is your responsibility. Know your limits. There is no substitute for training, experience, and preparedness. If in doubt, don't go out. You can always go paddling on nearby inland lakes or rivers as an alternative.
Okay, so one of the things we did mention was checking the weather. So this could be a pretty hard topic to figure out, eh, Joni?
Well, the weather can be complicated on Lake Superior. We've got a vast fetch. It's the greatest expanse of fresh water on Earth. And we've got weather that can come in. The lake makes its own weather. So we have to be aware of currents, we have to be aware of the wind, we have to be aware of the water temperature and the air temperature, and what are the clouds doing out there?
Yeah, I mean, end up being on the big lake, obviously the conditions can change very quickly. So preparing for that, making sure you got the right route. I like to check multiple websites. I use the Weather Network a lot. It's an application I have on my phone. Any suggestions that you have for checking the weather?
I think Windy, windy.com is an awesome site for discovering what the wind is doing on the lake. It's really quite accurate, and it shows you what direction the wind is coming from, how strong it is going, and if you've got your topographic map and you can marry what the wind direction is doing with what the coastline is like, whether it's rock or it's sand, you can determine a lot about the conditions you're going to be facing out there.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of information out there when it comes to the weather. Another thing that we like to do, especially when we're going out on tours in our canoes, is checking a marine forecast. So not just caring about the temperature, the air temperature and the wind, but we also want to look at the wave height, the swell height, what time that's expected to come in and go out. So there's a lot of information to look at when we're thinking about the weather. Anything else you wanted to add when we're talking about the weather?
I should have gone with the weather.
Oh, the weather radio. Yeah. You want to grab that? Let's see that for sure.
Hey, just another little piece of equipment that you can carry with you, and of course always keeping your equipment in some waterproof type of bag is a really good idea. A weather radio, a VHF radio, will give you a really great weather forecast. So I just put my little aerial on here and turn the weather radio on, dial it to channel 2, and then I can just listen to the weather radio.
Channel at 3:04 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Sunday, September 13th, 2020.
Safety on the Lake Superior Water Trail means knowing how to rescue yourself when you go in. The time to practice being safe on Lake Superior is actually to go to a nice warm inland lake, where you can have a lot of fun practicing different kinds of rescues, getting in and out of your canoes and kayaks, and just having a lot of fun. Woohoo! To the rescue! Yay!